The exciting and mysterious world of aviation has some very interesting facts that are kept secret from us normal passengers. But today's video is going to reveal you the top 10 crazy aviation facts you should definitely know. As always, stick with me until the end so as not to miss any bit of this fascinating topic. Number 10. The largest building in the world is an aircraft factory. We're talking about the Boeing Everett factory, an enormous building of 13.3 million cubic meters that was built in little more than a year on a former military airport near Seattle. What sparked Boeing to build such a huge factory is the Boeing 747 project, which was at that time twice as big as any other airliner. The building is so big that at the beginning, the accumulation of moisture and warm air caused clouds to form just below the factory's ceiling. The building is similar to a small city where 36,000 employees work every day, with its own daycare facilities, banks, fire department, and clinic. Number 9. The shortest passenger flight in the world is only 2 minutes long. The Scottish regional airline Loganair offers passengers the possibility to fly the shortest scheduled passenger flight in the world. 2 minutes is the scheduled flight time indicated on your ticket, but the actual flight time is closer to 1 minute. The journey connects the Scottish islands of Westray and Papa Westray, situated only 2.7 kilometers or 1.7 miles apart. The airplane Loganair is using for this route is a Briton Norman Islander where a total of 8 passengers can fit. There are about 4 flights per day that connect the residents of both islands, and you can even book them on Loganair's website. It is definitely one very special experience you must try. Number 8. Airplanes can be fixed with tape. Yes, you heard that right. Airplanes can indeed be fixed with tape. The tape used to fix airplanes is actually called speed tape and is far more sophisticated than you think. It is a heavy-duty aluminum tape used for short-term fixes only of non-critical parts until more serious maintenance is made later on. The speed tape is very reliable as it can stick even at the very high speeds of the airplane, about 800 kilometers an hour. One roll of speed tape costs about $700. This is the price to pay for a tape that is able to reflect UV light and heat while having the ability to expand when subject to temperature changes. Number 7. 80% of airplane crashes take place in the first 3 minutes after takeoff and the final 8 minutes before landing. Let's get into some statistics to prove the reliability of nowadays commercial passenger aircraft. As I've just mentioned, the most critical stages of a flight are the takeoff and the landing phases. The closer you fly to the ground, the more dangerous it gets. Nevertheless, the airplane is still the most reliable means of transportation. From a statistical point of view, in order to be almost sure to get on a plane that crashes, a passenger needs to fly daily for 13 years, while the chance of staying alive is 10 to 1. In other words, only 1 in 10 accidents will be fatal for you, even if you're flying daily for 13 years. Number 6. The reason why airplanes are usually white. The reason for this is that the white color is the best in terms of sunlight reflection, thus reducing the cabin heating and the impact from solar radiation. Another reason is that the white color fades less than others, therefore needing less paint jobs throughout its operational life. Without knowing the monumental costs airlines have to repaint their airplanes between $150,000 and $300,000, one can easily underestimate the paint job operation. Add to this expense the fact that the airplane remains grounded without generating revenue for about 2 weeks, and you can easily realize how costly is the repaint operation. That's why airliners' goal is to apply as little paint as possible to their aircraft. Usually not more than 2 or 3 coats of paint is used for an aircraft livery, as the paint adds to the weight of the aircraft, which increases fuel consumption. As a fun fact, the paint on a Boeing 747 weighs 1,200 pounds, or about 550 kilograms. Did you enjoy that one? Then click on the like button and let's keep going because the best is yet to come. Number 5. Aviation is superstitious. You would be surprised of how many superstitions exist in the aviation world, but let's speak about something normal everyday passengers can see. Have you ever noticed that there's no row 13 on the airplanes? It is obviously linked to the superstition that the number 13 is considered to be bad luck. Therefore, airlines simply try to avoid this number on their planes. Additionally, some airports, such as in the South Korean city of Incheon, do not have exits 4, 13, and 44. The figure 4 is avoided because in Korean it is consonant with the word death. Another interesting fact is about Concorde's fuel tanks, the famous supersonic passenger jet. It had 13 fuel tanks spread all over its structure, but you couldn't find the 13th fuel tank on the cockpit instruments panel because the engineers didn't want to bring bad luck in there. Instead, they have numbered the fuel tanks from 1 to 11, including a 5A and 7A fuel tank. Number 4. Never drink airplane tap water. Ew. How disgusting is that? Aircraft water tanks are filthy to a point you cannot even imagine. Tests are conducted from time to time by regulatory agencies, and it is always proven that airplane water tanks are a breeding ground for bacteria. Samples show that some of them are the cause for really serious diseases. The public opinion is that water tanks are not cleaned at all, but this isn't true. The water tanks get every few months a bleach injection that will basically sanitize them. The water is tested to make sure that the entire tank has been treated, after which the tank is totally drained and tested several times to ensure it is totally free of cleaner. Another tank cleaning procedure consists of applying an ozone treatment. However, the water still remains contaminated, and airlines usually fail the water quality test, so just avoid airplane tap water. Number 3. The best deal ever. In 1987, a man bought a lifetime, unlimited first-class American Airlines ticket for $250,000. He flew over 10,000 flights, costing the company $21 million. The airline canceled his ticket in 2008, presumably because of fraudulent activity. The man enjoyed his luxury life. He is explaining how cool it was to show up to the airport and get on any flight. Once he even went to Rhode Island just to eat his favorite sandwich. Since the company canceled his A Air Pass, the passenger is fighting to recover back his ticket and lifestyle, although he already got his money's worth from it. Number 2. The longest passenger flight in the world. As of June 2022, the longest scheduled passenger flight in the world is a Singapore Airlines flight from Singapore to New York, and it takes 18 hours and 40 minutes. Do you guys realize how long that is? It is unbelievable to know that there's airplanes spending close to 24 hours in the air. The flight covers some 9,300 miles, or 15,000 kilometers, on the Airbus A350. By the end of 2025, Qantas is planning to fly the Sydney to London route that will take just over 19 hours of flight time. Totally mind-blowing. And here we go for the number 1 of this top 10 craziest aviation facts. If you've enjoyed the video so far, make sure you drop a like to this video and subscribe to the channel. Number 1. Pilots sleep during the flight. And not only during long-haul flights. This is called controlled rest, and it is a sort of tool the flight crew can use as a last resort to cope with unexpected excessive tiredness. The airline crew member's schedule, also called the roster, is very complex. Nowadays, even when flying short-haul, pilots can accumulate a lot of fatigue. To give you an idea, when it's your 5th morning in a row waking up at 4 a.m. and spending over 12 hours in the aircraft, dealing with bad weather, delays, slots, and passengers, you can understand that even short-haul pilots can become extremely tired. That is why, without even being aware, one of the pilots that is flying you to your holiday destination is likely to be having a power nap. Obviously, there are special rules to this procedure. One of the pilots must be awake, the cabin crew must be aware of the controlled rest, and the awake pilot needs to call the senior cabin attendant at regular intervals to report that everything is fine and at least one of them is not sleeping. Should the awake pilot forget to call the cabin, the flight attendants will call the flight deck and a very unpleasant buzzer will wake everyone up. Leave a comment telling me which of these aviation facts are new to you. Want to watch more aviation top 10s? Click on any of the videos you see on your screen right now. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.